Well, I am delighted to be joined in the box now by our very special birthday guest, Stephen Sondheim. Stephen, what a birthday year you've had
It's
so
been wonderful.
far.
It's been wonderful so far. And tonight, I got to say, I can't say it's the climax, but it's pretty close.
Well, a
The
Broadway...
climax is probably when the theater was named, but this is, and remember, I've not been to a Proms before in my life, so it's the double whammy of this hall and this, the event, the atmosphere in here. I'm going to go a lot in the future.
It is an exceptional place. I understand it's the first time you've even been in the Royal Albert Hall, is that right?
First time I've been in the hall. I came in this afternoon, and I'd heard about it, and everybody said, "Oh, you're going to be amazed." Did you know people say you're going to be? I was amazed. My jaw dropped open. It is gorgeous, and it's exciting. And then to see it filled with people, and to see all those people in the middle. Anyway, it's just wonderful.
And all here for you, Stephen.
That's also nice.
How much are you enjoying this show so far?
Well, that's a loaded question. No, I've hated it. I just thought it was awful. Come on. With those people on that stage in that orchestra, any songwriter would give his eye teeth for something like this. It's wonderful. It's wonderful.
Now, I know that you worked with David Charles Abell to choose the program. How did you go about it?
Well, actually,
so much work under your belt.
No,
you know?
I'm sorry. You have to give him credit for it. What he did was he selected a lot of numbers and a general running order and then sent it to me for any suggestions, knowing that he was going to have to restrict it to a certain time limit. And he said, so I checked off things that I really wanted and made a few minor suggestions. But no, this is all David's routining. He gets entire credit for it and blame if somebody doesn't like it. No, but it really is all his work.
It's something of a friends and family gathering, I guess, for you tonight, because on stage are people you've worked with for decades.
Yes, and that's, I think, one of the
Fabulous
reasons he chose some of them, of course. And some of them, certainly Maria and Julian, who is the leading man in Merrily Roll Along, and Judy, who'd obviously done Little Night Music, and Bryn, who had done Sweeney, and in fact, I think of the principals, I think the only one I may not have worked with directly that I can remember was Carolyn, I think. I'm not sure, I may be wrong, but I think but I've worked with all of them.
She was fabulous, though. All of them have been great so far. As you say, Dame Judy, she doesn't just rent the stage, she owns it, doesn't she?
Sure.
Now, we've talked a little in the film about how you go about creating these complex works. You write the words, you write the music, you write so specifically for the scene and for the characters. Tell me, where do you start?
It starts with the librettist. I've been saying this all my life, and it sounds like modesty, but the kind of musicals I'm interested in, the kind that I write, are narrative musicals, even when there's no storyline, but they're narrative. They're about character. And it's something I learned from Oscar Hammerstein, who was my mentor. And so it depends on the librettist. And every show I've ever done starts with the librettist, and we talk a lot. And the characters, the songs, everything comes from the librettist. In a sense, I was telling an audience earlier this afternoon, in a sense, a songwriter for this kind of show is as much of an interpreter as a conductor is, or a musician is, or an actor is. The librettist makes something out of nothing. The songwriter and the director and the actors, they make something out of something. Now, a songwriter, because I'm also creating out of nothing in a sense, I am partly a creator, but I don't create out of whole cloth. Somebody has invented a story and characters, and I contribute to that story and character. When we talk, sometimes I make suggestions that are picked up or used, but still, it's his or her work. And so it's not inspiration, it's working with somebody who's invented a story.
And if you had one very brief word of advice for a composer or a lyricist working today, what would it be?
Well, if you're going to write, it depends what kind of show you're going to write. If you're going to write a narrative show, which is the kind I'm interested in, the kind I know about, you start with a librettist. Maybe you find a story and present it to a playwright, or if you're a playwright yourself, you can start doing it, but most people do. There are very few people who write plays and songs. And so my advice would be, find a property or a story or something you like and go to a playwright, or have a playwright come to you and say, I have an idea for a musical. And if it sings to you, you write it. But it depends on the librettist. It always does.
Stephen Sondheim, a real pleasure talking to you. Thank you so much, and please enjoy the second half of your prom.
I intend to. I look forward to the second half.
Thank you.
Thanks, Katie.
Now, Bryn Terfel is a man you wouldn't normally associate with musical theatre, but in the second half, you're going to see a side to him you have never seen before, and I spoke to him during a break in rehearsals.
I guess of all the people on the stage for this concert, perhaps I'm the baby of the Sondheim music. I don't really know, but every time I perform his music, it seems to light up some catalyst that you just want to know more about his music. I never thought that I would ever perform any piece written by Stephen Sondheim until I got to know Sweeney Todd. Sweeney Todd is operatic in my estimation. All the other roles around him, Mrs. Lovett, is of a musical theatre, more dramatic, more of an acting role. In a way, she holds the piece together. But the dynamics and the range in Sweeney is very, very bass baritone, you know. All right, you sir, how about a shave? Come and visit your good friend Sweeney. You know, you've got to sing this. And I think that's one of the things that I enjoyed about the piece.
Do you want me to think it's going to be?
Yeah.
Well, the thing is, he said the only thing that Steve Sondheim ever said to him was, hold that note as long as you can.
The first time I met Mr. Sondheim, he came into my dressing room and said, Bryn, I love Wales. So immediately I was totally at ease with this man. He likes the Mabinogion, which is a set of medieval stories in Wales. So most probably I'll ask him a couple of questions about where is this? Come on, write something for me.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wouldn't be so nimble, fiddling with the thimble, mending a candle. And in this concert, you know, I'm doing a couple of things that they're out of my league. I'm dancing, and I've just had the moves today.
I want to hear about this. I want to hear about you being in Everybody Ought to Have a Maid. The dancing, how was the dancing?
Dancing's not bad. I used to play rugby. Come on.
Light on your feet.
I've got a good sidestep. I know Gareth Edwards. He showed me a couple of moves on the golf course.
Message for Stephen Sondheim on his 80th birthday from you?
Fabulous. Write a new piece for me, please, and enjoy your birthday. I know you love Wales, so come and visit. I can make a nice cup of tea.